All right, so in this book, The War of Art, Stephen Pressfield is a writer writing to writers. Okay, so that's the premise of the book. But he very openly says the creative act of writing in itself is synonymous with any creative act of building anything. So writing, artists, entrepreneurs, musicians, he will go. So when he says the word writer, just sub in entrepreneur in your mind. All right? So he says there's a secret that real writers know and wannabe writers don't. And the secret is this: it's not the writing part that's hard. What's hard is sitting down to write. What keeps us from sitting down is resistance. Let's rephrase this. There's a secret that real life insurance agents know that wannabe life insurance agents don't, and the secret is this: it's not the dialing part that's hard. What's hard is sitting down to dial. What keeps us from sitting down is resistance. Most of us have two lives: the life we live and the unlived life within us. Between the two stands resistance. Have you ever brought home a treadmill and let it gather dust in the attic? Ever quit a diet, a course of yoga, a meditation practice? Have you ever bailed out on a call to embark upon a spiritual practice, dedicate yourself to humanitarian calling, commit your life to the service of others? Have you ever wanted to be a mother, a doctor, an advocate for the weak and helpless, to run for office, crusade for the planet, campaign for world peace, or preserve the environment? Late at night, have you experienced a vision of the person you might become, the work you could accomplish, the realized being you were meant to be? Are you a writer who doesn't write, a painter who doesn't paint, an entrepreneur who never starts a venture? Then you know what resistance is. One night I was laying down. I heard Papa talking to Mama. I heard Papa say to let that boy boogie woogie because it's in him and it's got to come out. Resistance is the most toxic force on the planet. It is the root of more unhappiness than poverty, disease, and erectile dysfunction. To yield to resistance deforms our spirit. It stunts us and makes us less than we are and were born to be. If you believe in God, and I do, you must declare resistance evil, for it prevents us from achieving the life God intended when He endowed each of us with our own unique genius. Genius is a Latin word. The Romans used it to denote an inner spirit, holy and inviolable, which watches over us, guiding us to our calling. A writer writes with his genius, an artist paints with hers. Everyone who creates operates from this sacramental center. It is our soul's seat, the vessel that holds our being in potential, our star's beacon and Polaris. Every sun casts a shadow, and genius's shadow is resistance. As powerful as is our soul's call to realization, so potent are the forces of resistance arrayed against it. Resistance is faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, harder to kick than crack cocaine. We're not alone if we've been mowed down by resistance. Millions of good men and women have bitten the dust before us. And here's the biggest bitch: we don't even know what hit us. I never did. From age 24 to 32, resistance kicked my ass from East Coast to West and back again 13 times, and I never even knew it existed. I looked everywhere for the enemy and failed to see it right in front of my face. Have you heard this story? Woman learns she has cancer, 6 months to live. Within days, she quits her job, resumes the dream of writing Tex-Mex songs she gave up to raise a family, or starts studying classical Greek, or moves to the inner city and devotes herself to tending babies with AIDS. Woman's friends think she's crazy. She herself has never been happier. There's a postscript. Woman's cancer goes into remission. Is that what it takes? Do we have to stare death in the face to make us stand up and confront resistance? Does resistance have to cripple and disfigure our lives before we wake up to its existence? How many of us have become drunks and drug addicts, developed tumors and neuroses, succumbed to painkillers, gossip, and compulsive cell phone use simply because we don't do the thing that our hearts, our inner genius is calling us to? Resistance defeats us if tomorrow morning, by some stroke of magic, every dazed and benighted soul woke up with the power to take the first step toward pursuing his or her dreams. Every shrink in the directory would be out of business. Prisons would stand empty. The alcohol and tobacco industries would collapse, along with the junk food, cosmetic surgery, and infotainment businesses, not to mention pharmaceutical companies, hospitals, and the medical profession from top to bottom. Domestic abuse would become extinct, as would addiction, obesity, migraine headaches, road rage, and dandruff. Look in your own heart. Unless I'm crazy right now, a still small voice is piping up, telling you, as it has 10,000 times, the calling that is yours and yours alone. You know it. No one has to tell you. And unless I'm crazy, you're no closer to taking action on it than you were yesterday or will be tomorrow. You think resistance isn't real? Resistance will bury you. You know, Hitler wanted to be an artist. At 18, he took his inheritance, 700 kronen, and moved to Vienna to live and study. He applied to the Academy of Fine Arts and later to the School of Architecture. Ever seen one of his paintings? Neither have I. Resistance beat him. Call it an overstatement, but I'll say it anyway. It was easier for Hitler to start World War II than it was for him to face a blank square of canvas. How many of you retreat to the old when you're staring at the phone? How many of you retreat from your dream when you're staring at the work that needs to be done, the work that can be done tomorrow, the work that could get put off till later? How many of you say, I'm going to make 300 dials, but 30 becomes good enough? How many of you every day self-sabotage by tolerating less than you are called to be, feel in your soul you can be, and know you're working toward? How many of you give up on it every day? You don't need another YouTube video. You don't need another mentor. You don't need to read another book. You don't need somebody to motivate you. You've got to just simply do the freaking thing you know you're supposed to do. Your life would be so much better. Your business would be so much bigger if you did nothing more than the very crap you know you're supposed to be doing, but you keep coming up with excuses for why you don't need to do it now. That maybe some other time down the road might be easier, might be better, might be more convenient. Yeah, it might be. And you'll never achieve the very thing you set out to achieve. Constantly starting things, getting overwhelmed and backing off. You think I'm done? I'm not done yet. I bookmarked. That was just the intro. I bookmarked the part I really wanted to dive into today. And this chapter is called Resistance and Rationalization. See, resistance is fear, but resistance is too cunning to show itself naked in this form. Why? Because of resistance lets us see clearly that our own fear is preventing us from doing our work. We might feel shame at this, and shame may drive us to act in the face of fear. Resistance doesn't want us to do this, so it brings in his friend, rationalization. Rationalization is resistance's spin doctor. It's resistance's way of hiding the big stick behind its back. Instead of showing us our fear, which might shame us and impel us to do our work, resistance presents us with a series of plausible, rational justifications for why we shouldn't do our work. What's particularly insidious about the rationalizations that resistance presents to us is that a lot of them are true. They're legitimate. Our wife may really be in her 8th month of pregnancy. She may, in truth, need us at home. Our department may really be instituting a changeover that will eat up hours of our time. Indeed, it may make sense to put off finishing our dissertation, at least until after the baby's born. What resistance leaves out, of course, is that all of that means diddly. Tolstoy had 13 kids and wrote War and Peace. Lance Armstrong had cancer and won the Tour de France multiple times. If resistance couldn't be beaten, there would be no Fifth Symphony, no Romeo and Juliet, no Golden Gate Bridge. Defeating resistance is like giving birth. It seems absolutely impossible until you remember that women have been pulling it off successfully, with support and without, for 50 million years. You ready to get to work today? I'm ready to get to work today. I'm fired up today because today is a gift, and today has the potential to get me one step closer to where I'm going. If only I will sit down and do the work that I know I'm supposed to go do. Guys, go to work. Don't make it harder than that. You're going to get into a place, I'm going to promise you this is coming. You're going to get to a place where the disconnect between what you're doing now and where you want to go feels so big, where it feels like the dialing today doesn't make a difference for the big dream, that whether you hit your goal this month or not is irrelevant for the big goal. And you're going to start feeling like, does it really make a difference? If I've got this goal of 130, equity partner, financial freedom, does it really make a difference if I get my ass kicked on the phone today? The answer is yes. It makes a difference because it's not about the phone today. It's about becoming the type of person that shows up in the hard consistently. It's about becoming the type of person that does what they say they're going to do. It's not about the phone today. The phone is important today. The dialing's important today. The setting and running appointments today is important. But you're right. Making $800 today isn't going to make you a millionaire down the road. But that's not the point of today. The point of today is developing the character to become the person that's going to achieve that goal. If you keep retreating every time you don't connect those two dots between the mundane and the sublime, then you're going to retreat your whole life and you're never going to achieve the sublime. This is what happens so often. People say today, why eating the cheeseburger today isn't gonna derail my diet. You're right. That cheeseburger isn't. But setting your mind up that you're the type of person that compromises and tolerates less than you're capable of, that does affect your goal. It is always about who you're becoming, who you're demonstrating to yourself and to your character who you are. I set up this group because I wanted to come in hot. I wanted a group of people that understood that small things matter. I wanted to be able to talk to a group of people that understood your word matters, that who you become is more important than what you achieve, because what you achieve is always and only the overflow of the person you are. So yes, dialing matters, and saying you're going to do 500 dials matters, because the minute you say it and you don't do it, you have sacrificed your potential and become the type of person that backs off their goals and doesn't achieve it. Do I need to come in hotter on a Tuesday? Can I just say that's all I got?
Amen, baby. Amen. Boom.
Come on.
Let it rip,
Period.
brother. Let it rip.
Keep
That's
going.
what we need to hear.
Love it, man.
That
Love
is
it.
Mic
what
drop.
we need to
Go.
hear.
All right, chapter
No.
2.
For it.
Let's do it.
Amen.
All right, I'll stop this recording. I think I gave y'all some stuff to chew on.
Definitely gonna
Period.
re-listen to that one.